Warnings of a separatist uprising and a possible financial collapse. There's a continuing sense of crisis in Ukraine, and the delays aren't helping. Parliament has now given itself until Thursday to form a new government. Until that happens, there can be no deals on international financial support. But diplomatic negotiations have been picking up pace. EU Foreign Policy Chief Catherine Ashton was in the capital to offer support. US diplomats are also in Kiev holding urgent talks. They're all hoping to have a say in how Ukraine moves forward. But it won't be an easy road, given Ukraine's divided allegiances between the Russians and the EU. Acting President Olexander Turchynov says there are growing signs of separatism in his country. Al Jazeera's Hoda Abdel-Hamid reports.
In Parliament, lawmakers continue to rapidly chip away at the old guard. The whereabouts of Viktor Yanukovych remain a mystery, but Ukraine has now paved the way for justice to be made if and when he is caught.
For this, there is only one way, the International Tribunal in The Hague. Right now, we need to calm people to begin the rebuilding of the country.
Andrei Chernus has spent many days in Maidan calling for the fall of Viktor Yanukovych. Now that the former president is gone, he hopes that the transitional government will manage to steer the country out of the crisis.
I would like to be this government enough independent and free. Ukraine is Europe. It's the center of Europe as geographical and by its essence. I hope that our nation will understand that we are a proud nation and we deserve a better life that was before.
Many of the protesters came to Parliament to remind legislators inside that removing the president was just the first step.
People here in Ukraine have different ideas and aspirations. The transitional government will have to reflect all these competing demands. But what everyone agrees on is that the economy is the top priority.
Ukraine had a 0% GDP growth in 2013. The rating agency Standard & Poor's downgraded the country to CCC, which is just a notch above default. And the acting finance minister estimated that Ukraine needed $35 billion in aid over the next 2 years just to stay afloat. The task is monumental for lawmakers. This is a country that needs a complete overhaul.
The economy starts working when cores start working, because no investor will enter the country without having an insurance that his capitals and assets can be protected in local courts. So court, prosecution, militia, economic reforms, taxation, education, I mean, everything is in ruin.
Ukraine has been trapped for decades between Russia and the EU, both using their economic leverage to influence politics. But it seems at the moment that Europe is winning the race. Hoda Abdel-Hamid, Al Jazeera, Kiev.